Hey guys, welcome to Pajama Let's Play. I'm Michelle, host of Pajama Let's Play, where we talk all things Kingdom Hearts. Today, I'm going to be discussing the fate of the Dandelions after Union Cross, and their possible tie to Quadratum. But before we get into all that, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. You can also check out my Patreon or leave a tip via PayPal. All those things are in the description box down below. As usual, there will probably be spoilers, so heads up there. Also, as a quick side note, I live in Michigan and it's been snowing a lot. So you will hear things in the background as people are driving in the snow, clearing the snow, my heater's going and it's really loud. So I'm sorry about all the background noise. This theory was actually sent to me by a subscriber named Axel Vega. They had been watching the secret movie for Remind and were particularly drawn to the building Yozora sits on right here. He noticed that the pattern of the windows that were lit up were different from all the other buildings. They ran it through a negative image filter and compared it to a dandelion and came up with these two images. Normally, I would assume it's just the way the windows are lit, but it does seem strange to me too that this building has a very seeds of a dandelion feel to it. Top that off with, I assume, the Master of Masters grabbing, again, I assume, Datastrelitzia, and it might not be the coincidence I originally thought. I've made a video recently about how the Master of Masters may have gone to Unreality, linked here, and my primary theory is that he found a way there through Game Central Station. Regardless of what Unreality is and the types of worlds we can expect, the Dandelions have become a major plot device in the series. We know the Datascape fell with most of the Dandelions still there. We also know most of those Dandelions opted to become Spirit/Dream Eaters, and I think we can assume that the ones who didn't are the ones who came to help Sora in the war in Kingdom Hearts 3. But how did they get there? And how did they know to go there at all? Well, I think that's the doing of the Master of Masters. He knew Sora would fight Xehanort in the Keyblade War, though it clearly was not as impactful as the Keyblade Wars we're used to, since in those, all the wielders perish. With the Book of Prophecies to aid him, he could see that Sora would need help, and since this is not the final Keyblade War, I suspect the Master of Masters wanted to help Sora because his true plan revolves around the war the Master will actually partake in. If Xehanort had succeeded, he would have opened Kingdom Hearts and rebuilt the worlds according to his own design. I don't know if that would have affected the Master's plan, but I imagine it would not have helped. It seems the Master would have wanted to protect Kingdom Hearts from the interference of others while he plans for the final war. I'm also pretty sure Sora is integral to the Master's plan, so he couldn't let Sora fail against Xehanort. So now, back to that building. What if that building is actually housing the Dandelions? As I said in my other video, I believe the Master of Masters provided a way to Unreality when he created the Datascape in the first place. It makes sense to me that the way out would require a Keyblade to ensure the darkness entities couldn't access it. With the Dandelions all having access to Keyblades, they could have found the exit and made their way through it to Unreality, joined the Master of Masters, and were put in that building to keep them safe. Then, when the time came to help Sora, he could have sent them back to Sora's reality in the same way Sora was able to aid Kairi in Melody of Memory. Other than Ephemer, the Dandelions didn't speak and didn't have physical bodies. They showed up as Keyblades, which, by the way, when I finally get around to finishing all these game cinematics, I will do a deep dive on Keyblades and how they might work, but I want to make sure I have all of the information available for that. Small teaser for that. I believe the Keyblades are manifestations or projections of the light or darkness within the wielder's heart. With that said, if I'm right about that, then it makes sense the Dandelions would appear as their Keyblades, since regardless of their fate, most of them don't have bodies in that reality at this point in time. I think it makes sense that their bodies were either lost with the Datascape in Union Cross, or are in Unreality with the Master of Masters, and the dandelion-like pattern of that building could be a hint to where the Dandelions actually landed. It does seem weird to me that there is a dandelion imagery there, and perhaps it is just a coincidence, but I'm really hoping it's a hint at where the series is heading. If Yozora was given a new face and identity, it stands to reason that any remaining Dandelions could have gone through the same process. I'm not sure why that would be part of the Master's plan, but right now, until I get more information from future games, my preferred theory is that this was a protective measure by the Master of Masters. Maybe he's protecting them from the darkness entities, Or maybe he's protecting them from someone new who lives in Quadratum. But the Dandelions are clearly a central point in his plan for Kingdom Hearts and his eventual plan for the Darkness entities. Maybe he's using the Dandelions to create a space for the Darkness entities to be bound. With unreality being a realm of fiction, as has been stated a few times, having the Dandelions in data form would definitely be able to help him create a more secure trap, even if they were only test subjects to see the various ways to escape. I do believe the Master has pure intentions, and we know he will want to get everything exactly right to fulfill his main goal of ending the cycle of the Keyblade War. But what do you think? Does that building resemble the seeds of a dandelion like we see? Is there a different explanation for it that you like better? Is this just a pretty design that didn't have much thought put into it? Could this even be a red herring? Tell me all about your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. You can check out my Patreon or leave a tip via PayPal. All those things are in the description box down below. Until next time.